Hi, good evening. Welcome to my video blog. It's the 1st of September 2020 and I'm going to do a monthly reading for the 1st of September. It's just going to be a 3-card spread, and first card would be about past event, the past. Second card would be about the present, what's happening in the now, and the third card will be for what's going to happen in the future. And this is a general reading, so just going to shuffle the cards. Oh, what's happened here? Ooh, let's have a look. Right, I do believe I've got my cards already. Okay, my first card is the Wands, and that is, if you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the 7 of Wands, and I actually got 3 cards for the pass. The first one is Wands, and Wands is to do with the element of fire, wood. It's about the past events, and this is where people had to be kind of creative with the resources that they had. So we got the 7 of Wands, and we also got the Page of Pentacles, and then we have the 8 of Cups. And this is pretty significant because, like, when I was shuffling my cards, I was saying to you that I was going to only deal out 3 cards, and the first would be about the past events. Well, this is the first, okay, but we've got 3. And this is quite significant because the past event will be obviously last month, which will be August, which is meaning that was coming to the end of the summer month. And that's what cups signify. It's also about summertime, and cups is to do with emotions and how people feel in general. And if you look, these cups are empty. So last month, this is just a general reading, people are kind of exhausted with what's happening. Like, people just kind of like fed up with the whole situation. And that situation could be about emotions, finances, like, because here we got the Page of Pentacles, and that represents, say, the younger population, because Pentacles is it's an earth sign. It's about material. Pentacles are usually associated with resources, and this resource could be to do with either money. But looking at this, I think Pentacles is more to do with kind of like the results. And we all know, because of the situation that we are in, that a lot of young people's aspirations have been affected. And this is more to do with, like, what grade would they get. And then there's a turnaround about predicted grades, and how some people from say certain communities may feel disenfranchised because of the community that they live in. So there's some issues about grades and how this could impact negatively on these young people's future, because of the postcode, because of the area that they live in. They're already being discriminated against because they live in a particular area, and the grades that they wanted, they're not being given. So already they're being disadvantaged, being at being at a disadvantage. But unfortunately, that is life. So this is about last month and emotions, and basically people are running on empty. And this is about our future generation and how they have been impacted as well, because we always forget about our children and the younger generation, about how do they feel about what's happening, because whatever affects us also affects our young people in our lives. And then, like we mentioned here with the Seven of Wands, this is about being creative. This is about passion. And some people are so passionate about what's happening with the results of their predicted grades and not getting the predicted grades, that it was clearly documented on various social media platforms where they took to the streets and demonstrated that they're not happy. And for the last couple of months, we've been seeing people demonstrating about what's been happening on a global perspective, like the Black Lives Matters. So people basically have had enough. And this is what these represent. The Eight of Cups, which are empty, is about emotions. People are running out of energy. And that's from last month. And then the Page of Pentacles is about our youth and how they are frustrated, and how what's happening is also kind of like impacting on their future prospects. And already they're experiencing discrimination because of the area that they live in, to be already prejudged. And hence this is where people became passionate and creative and thinking again, enough is enough. So this was to do with the past. Okay, the next card, or cards depending on what's happening, is about what's happening happening today, starting from the 1st of September. I don't know what's going on today, but again, I've got 3 more cards. Okay, these cards represent today, starting from today, and what's happening. And the first card here is, okay, so we should have the 6 of Wands. So there we got 1, 2, 3, no, sorry, the 4th. So this is the Wands, and we've got 4. Okay, can you see? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the 4th of Wands, not the 6 of Wands, my apology. Now, Wands is associated with thinking, being analytical, about being kind of logical with how we are going to approach with the situation that we find ourselves in. And that's quite significant because we also have a full moon as well called a corn moon. And this is about harvesting and kind of like you reap what you sow. So we're kind of like planting the seeds or the foundations to build for our future. And the number 4 is quite significant as well. 4 is almost got like a spiritual connotation about it. 4 is about enlightenment. It's about the eureka moment, I've seen the light. And maybe it's about changing how we perceive things. That it's kind of like having a bit of a spring clean, but that's more on the analytical, about changing the way that we think, changing the way that we approach the same situation, because the situation that we find ourselves in, it's the same. So we got to think, how can we deal with this situation from a different perspective? Okay, and then the next one is the Queen of Wands, and this represents you, the individual, irrespective of your gender. And wands, okay, element is fire, it's wood, and that's about being creative. It's kind of like thinking out of the box. How can you deal with this situation from another perspective? And the Queen, as we know, is usually very regal, so maybe you might need to develop some of these traits yourself, like to be a bit more using your imagination to kind of like see things from a different perspective, which is kind of supported by the swords. There's an ongoing situation, you're not happy about it, you're kind of stagnant, but there's nothing you can do about it. You have to deal with it. So you're going to have to approach it in a different mindset. And that's what it's about. It's about your mindset. It's kind of like sorting it out and dealing with it from a completely different perspective. So you are going to have to be creative. And then here, that supports this, it's the 8th card, and this is strength. And this represents you, the individual, about what's happening in today, in this here and now. That there's an ongoing situation and you feel kind of stuck, and you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. But it doesn't matter what you try to do, you're not going any further, but you're not going back. So remember that, you're not going backwards, but you can't progress any further because of external pressures which are beyond your control. There's nothing you can do. You can rant and rave, but at this particular moment in time, you're kind of stuck. So the only thing that you can do is to apply logic. So if you switch off your emotions and apply logic, become detached, because there's nothing you can do. And this is what the swords are saying, that whatever this ongoing situation is, you have to apply logic. And just don't be emotionally involved. Just become detached. And just look at it at the cold light of day for what it is. It's beyond your control. So now you've got to think a different approach. Also, this could represent maybe another person that you could talk to about this ongoing situation, and they can give you probably advice. But also, this is asking you to be creative in how you deal with this ongoing situation, because there's nothing you can do. You just have to face it. But this is saying that you have got inner resources, you have the strength to deal whatever this ongoing challenge is. At this particular moment in time, you can't go any further because of what's happening elsewhere, which will indirectly affect what you're trying to achieve. So all those aspirations, whatever, is on hold at this moment in time. So it's kind of like being stuck on amber. Like that project that you want to do, it will happen eventually, but at the moment it's kind of been put on hold. So it's kind of like gritting your teeth and just learning to deal with the situation that you find yourself in. Okay, so this is about what's going to happen in the next month. Okay, this is a bit strange. Seem to be freeze. This is about for what's happening next month, which will be October. 3 cards. That's quite significant as well. 9. Okay, so this is about for next month. And let's have a look at this. So we've got the swords. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 again. I don't know what's going on, but 9 seems to be the magic number. Again, swords. It's about thinking and being analytical, because it's associated with the air. It's about thought processes and being like method, logic, no emotions involved. Then here we have the world. So like what we mentioned in the here and now, that we've got the strength, and we have the queen and the swords again. And like what I mentioned, that at the moment, in the present moment, like any ideas or projects or whatever, it's only temporarily on hold. But the world is a positive. So that says that whatever you desire, it will be achieved. But that will be more nearer the ending of this month, going into next month. So this is where it said in the present that you kind of have to be patient, and you're thinking what to do, and you're thinking, okay, I get it now. It's going to happen, but not in my time. But nearer the ending of September, okay, going into October, you will be given the green light. This could be related to a work situation or a relationship. So this is kind of like partnership, personal, that's more with work, or for pleasure. Whatever it is, there are delays even, which are, like what's been previously mentioned, is beyond your control, but it will be achieved. Because here, that supports it, it's the Knight of Wands. And this is to do with a man close to you. And there will be kind of like your knight in shining armour. This man is a mature gentleman. Because again, wands, that we already mentioned, the element is to do with fire, wood, creativity. So this person will be inspirational to you with this current situation that you find yourself in, and he will probably be someone that you will seek counsel, and they can give you advice from a different perspective. So let's just have a quick recap. So this was the pass, so we had the cups about summer. Well, summer's over, we're now coming into autumn, and it's kind of like running on empty. And then we've got the Page of Pentacles, and that was more to do with the young people in our life and how things have been affected as well, and how they were not happy about the situation. So they kind of like were very vocal and publicly just demonstrated that they were not happy. And because of what they did, they had a result in which the grades that they were not happy with were kind of like based on the teacher's prediction. But again, not everyone will be happy, because like I said, some students, because of where they live, were kind of already discriminated against because of the area that they live in. So not everyone's going to be happy. And wands is about passion, creativity. So that was about the pass last month. And then this was about what's happening today in the here and now from the 1st of September. And we've got the swords, and like we said, swords, air element, about thinking, being logical, And then here, the Queen of Wands is about thinking out of the box, because this, like any projects that you want to do, is on hold, but only temporarily. So it's on amber. And you've got the inner strength to kind of like just bite your teeth and just realise that the situation is not going to last. So coming to the end of this month, going into next month, which is October, it's supported by these cards. Well, you will be given the green light. So again, the swords, thinking, the world, you will be given the go ahead by the end of, say, this month, going into next month. So whatever you put out there, it's like your prayers that are being answered. You just can't see it manifesting yet, but they are being answered. And then an older gentleman will give you, will give you the advice or support. It could be emotional, it could be financial, spiritual. Whoever is kind of like a mentor, and you can learn from this person. So I hope that makes sense. And because it's meant to be a full moon, and I already put something on my page about a full moon, I just thought, let's just do a quickie. These are my lunar oracle cards, and I'm just going to do 3. But what was quite funny, that for each card, for the past, the future card, and the present, I got 3. 9, and that's quite significant, the number 9, actually. That's very significant, but I'll come back to that, so hold that thought about 9. So let's pick out one card and see if they support what the tarot says. Okay, this one is, well, how apt is that? It's a full moon, and it says, take time to relax, recharge and replenish your inner strength. And I think that's quite apt, because like we said with the tarot card reading, we got these, didn't we? Kind of like running on empty, young people not happy, and kind of being creative. And this supports the tarot, the full moon. So take heed, take time to relax, recharge and replenish your inner strength. And I'm going to take that for myself, because to be honest, I'm feeling kind of fatigued with the whole situation as well. Okay, let's go for the next card. Okay, see if that supports. Okay, well, next one is the dark moon, and this says, spend time in contemplation and meditation in order to seek greater understanding of yourself and those around you. Wow, that is just amazing, isn't it? And that could link in with probably young people, or maybe ourselves, because of the situation that we are currently experiencing. Everyone reacts, responds to this ongoing situation that we find ourselves in. So it's kind of like understanding other people's perspectives, but still respecting your own perspective of the situation. And maybe, like it says, and I know I'm guilty, I don't meditate enough. I can only manage about 4 or 5 minutes, and that's it. So I think I'm going to take heed of that as well. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to take that for myself, that I need to take time out for myself as well. Because when people say, oh, you're free, yeah, I might be free, but it doesn't mean that I'm always emotionally available. Okay, let's do the next one. This is this one. This is the moon in Aquarius. It says the time is right for celebrating life. Make the most of parties, gatherings and other social gatherings. Well, how apt is that? That supports these cards about the world. So even these are supporting that by the end of this month, going into next month, like what I already previously mentioned, that at the moment any projects or ideas that we endeavour to do, that we are setting the seeds. So the seeds are being planted, a foundation, but at the moment it's on hold. But that hold or that stagnation is only temporary, it's not permanent. Because we're praying and we think, oh, nothing's happening. Well, it is happening, but we just can't see it yet. But at the end of the month, we'll be given the green light, and there'll be a cause for celebration. So it could be a celebration. It could be to do with births as well. So we might be having a birth or that job opportunity or whatever the celebration is. It will be a time for celebration, and this card supports that. So to me, that's a positive. And remember, I was talking about not the number 9. Excuse me. Bear with me. This is my little guide, angel numbers. So I'm just going to tell you what the number 9 means. And I'll mention number 4 as well. So let's see if I was right about 4. Okay. So number 4 is angels are with you. Call upon them for help, guidance and feelings of love and security. Well, I kind of touched on that when I did the readings. When I said about 4 was kind of like to do with kind of like enlightenment and spirituality. So, but number 9 is quite significant. Number 9, and I've got 9 cards, is your divine life purpose involves the giving of service through your natural talents, passions and interests. And I think that is being reflected throughout the reading. So I hope that makes sense. And I'm going to end it there. And I'm going to take a bit of time out for myself, because tomorrow it's back to my main job in education. So until next time, peace, love. And remember, the situation that we find ourselves in at this moment in time is only temporary. It's not permanent. At the end of this month, going into next month, it'd be a time to celebrate. Until next time, Lisa, Derby City.